This video is a continuation of video 9. In my last video of this series, I brought to your attention the two base components seen in your vision with your eyes closed. In reality, you are looking into a cave, making up your vision. The dark disk in your vision can appear in different dark colors, depending on what you were looking at before closing your eyes. The eyes are slow to change. This is normal. Have you managed to see the black, square corners protruding out from the dark disk in your vision? It may take a while to do this at first. If so, were you able to see a large X in your vision through visualizing it? If so, try visualizing the X, then pull it apart vertically into two V-like components seen in this drawing. Then try the same again but horizontally. Now visualize the X again, and this time open the center to produce a small square in the center of your vision. A square tunnel will then appear on the disk. If you visualize a small disk in the center of the X, a round tunnel will appear on the disk. Now gently pull at the center of your vision, and notice the granular texture of the dark disk traversing outward, producing the illusion of traveling through a tunnel or cave. Now try gently pushing at the center of your vision, and notice the granular texture traveling toward the center of your vision, giving the illusion of reversing in the tunnel. Then try turning around to look in the opposite direction in the cave. This may take some persistence to achieve this. Be patient with yourself. It involves flicking the eyes to either the left or the right, then back to the center of your vision again. Now try blinking your eyes while closed. Does a small disk appear in the center of your vision? Try blinking once, then repeatedly. Is the small disk white? Because you can blink your eyes when closed, in a similar way see if you can open or raise what feels like an inner eyelid, and close it again, without opening your eyes. Notice the difference in your sight when you do this with your eyes closed. Now you are slowly gaining control over your eyes. Now, find a white surface, such as a sheet of white A4 paper, and look through a circular shape formed with your thumb and finger at the paper, and you shall see in the space formed by your fingers a skin-like texture. Note it appears as a light grayish-yellow granular texture. But hang on a minute, there is nothing in the area formed by your fingers, except air, yet this image appears in the area formed by your thumb and finger. Why? What we are seeing is actually a conceptual-like granular skin. If you take a piece of number 8 wire, and form it into a loop with a handle, the same conceptual skin appears in this loop too, so it is not a human phenomenon. In fact, if I show a drawing of a horizontal line, drawn on a white background with a mask having 90% opacity, almost opaque, covering the background, and the line, 3 lines of script, appear in uppercase English or Greek letters, and numerals as shown in this drawing. Note the script superimposed on the drawn line is smaller compared with the upper and lower lines of script. This conceptual skin is a very handy tool, as it gives us a semi-translucent layer that can be used during editing. The background mask consists of 144 by 144 square partitions, a total of 20,736 square partitions. It must be understood, this is generational. In other words, each of these partitions contains another 20,736 square partitions. While going the other way, the outer frame of this drawing is 1 square partition. But for now, we will use the 144 by 144 square partitions having 36 by 36 square sub-partitions, shown in this drawing. There are registers for both the outer and inner programs. The outer has 9 by 9 registers, a total of 81 registers. These are the outer sub-registers for the 9 gates. From an ancient writing, removed by the Roman Church, and her breakaway denominations referred to as the Acts of Peter and the 12 Apostles, quote, "Why do you sigh, if you, indeed, know this name Jesus, and believe him? He is a great power for giving strength. For I too, believe in the Father who sent him." I replied, asking him, "What is the name of the place to which you go, your city?" He said to me, "This is the name of my city, 9 gates." End quote. Again, the scribes have corrupted these writings too. The word city should have been written as an organized structure, seen in this drawing. When you look into the soul, it looks like you are looking down on buildings and streets appearing like a city. There are 3 base compartments in each terminal or soul of the processing system of life. The first outer compartment, shown in this drawing, is the processing system in its origin. There is a second outer compartment, shown in this drawing, containing your own private playground. The midway compartment involves a common playground, where this universe, other universes, and worlds are displayed, where socializing takes place. So, let's start with the first outer, involving your terminal, referred to in ancient writings as the soul. Written in the Gospel according to John, in chapter 14, verse 2, quote, "In my Father's house are many mansions, if it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you, and if I go to prepare a place for you, I shall come again, and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye shall be also." First note: the word I does not refer to Jesus, but to the man-child, sometimes referred to as the Son of Man. Secondly, the word mansion is used in the King James Version, but in other versions, different words are used instead of the word mansions, such as dwellings, or rooms, or abodes, or resting places. The soul is a place where life, the real self, dwells. In other words, in my Father's house, there are many souls. The workings of the soul are automatic, so be very, very careful with what you ask for. Here is the processing system of life, which is a conceptual processing system. What is referred to as a conceptual processing system does not suggest it is a theory. It involves concepts, obtained by life, the real self, from the beginning of the all, which are expressed through geometry, involving shape, size, location, and color. Note very carefully what you see in these squares. Here are some of the different sizes of squares. Experiment with the distance you view these animations from, until you see the images in each of the squares. Now you see a large environment image taking up the whole display area, in the outer square frame. The outer lines that form the outer frame of the processing system contains the data. The upper and lower lines contains the environment data, and the left and right-hand outer lines contain the avatar data. As the processing system is a conceptual processing system, it is able to contain the all. Think of the four outer lines forming the square to be like scrolls, and the inner area as the display. In my next video of this series, I will explain more about the structure of the processing system of life, and how it all works.